The Galactic Council's war chamber buzzed with heated debate as holographic displays flickered between star maps and casualty reports. Representatives from dozens of species crowded around the central table, their varied anatomies creating a bizarre menagerie of scales, feathers, and chitinous plates. "Impossible," chittered Vextar, his insectoid mandibles clicking in agitation. "These human statistics must be fabricated. No single species could achieve such numbers." Ambassador Krell, a towering reptilian with emerald scales, slammed his clawed fist on the table. "The Zephyrian Empire lost 3 entire fleets to Earth's forces. 3. We've conquered 17 systems, and these newcomers humiliated us in their first major engagement." The holographic display showed Earth's military statistics in stark blue light. 47,132 confirmed kills across various enemy vessels, with a staggering 97.3% mission success rate. The numbers seemed to pulse mockingly in the dim chamber. "Perhaps their weapons technology is more advanced than we assumed," suggested Dr. Yelan, the avian representative from Kepler 442b. Her feathered crest twitched nervously as she spoke. "Though their ships appear primitive by our standards." General Thax, a stocky humanoid covered in rocky protrusions, snorted derisively. "Advanced? I've seen their vessels. Crude metal constructs held together with what they call rivets. Yet somehow they've decimated forces that took us centuries to build." The argument continued to escalate, each species trying to rationalize how humanity, this upstart civilization that had only achieved faster-than-light travel 50 years ago, could possess such devastating military effectiveness. The consortium had been monitoring Earth for decades, dismissing them as primitive warmongers who spent more time fighting each other than exploring the cosmos. "Their aggression levels are off the charts," Vextar continued, pulling up psychological profiles. "They've been in a state of constant warfare for their entire recorded history. Perhaps this explains their unnatural aptitude for combat." "Still doesn't explain the precision," Krell growled. "Look at these surgical strikes against the hegemony. They targeted life support systems with pinpoint accuracy while leaving the rest of the ship intact. That's not mere aggression, that's calculated lethality." The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. These weren't random statistics or technological flukes. Earth's military success represented something far more unsettling, a species that had turned warfare into an art form. The heavy doors to the war chamber suddenly hissed open, interrupting the heated discussion. Every head turned as a single human figure entered, her footsteps echoing in the suddenly quiet space. She was unremarkable by human standards. Average height, dark hair pulled back in a simple ponytail, wearing what appeared to be a standard military uniform without excessive decoration. But something about her presence immediately commanded attention. Perhaps it was the way she moved, with the fluid grace of a predator, or the calculating look in her dark eyes as they swept across the assembled representatives. "Admiral Chen?" Ambassador Krell managed, his voice hoarse with sudden realization. She nodded politely, as if she hadn't just walked into a room full of beings who had been dissecting her species' military capabilities. "Gentlemen, ladies," she said, her voice carrying a slight accent that several universal translators struggled to process. "I apologize for the interruption. I was told you were discussing Earth's recent contributions to the war effort." The silence stretched uncomfortably as dozens of eyes, sensors, and other sensory organs focused on her. Vextar's compound. Eyes widened as he accessed Earth's military database through his neural implant. "Admiral Sarah Chen," he whispered, his voice barely audible. "Personal kill count, 47,832. Mission success rate, 97.3%. The numbers on the holographic display suddenly took on new meaning. They weren't representing Earth's collective military might. They were the combat record of a single human being. Dr. Yelan's feathers ruffled in what her species considered extreme distress. One individual? Those statistics belong to one person? Admiral Chen smiled, and something about that expression made several representatives take an unconscious step backward. It wasn't cruel or threatening. It was the smile of a professional acknowledging their work. In my defense, she said casually, those numbers span a 15-year career, and I've had excellent support crews. She paused, seeming to consider something. Though I should mention, those figures only include confirmed ship kills, small craft, ground installations, and individual targets are tracked separately. General Thax's rocky exterior actually seemed to pale. Individual targets? Boarding actions mostly, Chen replied with a shrug. Sometimes you need a more personal touch. Diplomacy through other means, as we say on Earth. The revelation hit the chamber like a physical force. This wasn't just about advanced technology or species-wide aggression. This was about individual. Humans being capable of military destruction on a scale that entire fleets from other civilizations couldn't match. Ambassador Krell found his voice first. How many others like you does Earth have? Chen's smile widened slightly. Admiral is a fairly senior rank, so there aren't many of us. Maybe 24 at my level. She paused deliberately. Of course, there are several hundred commodores, about 2,000 captains, and roughly 50,000 officers below that rank. The mathematics was staggering. If one human could achieve such numbers, what could their entire military accomplish? The war with the Devourers, Vextar said suddenly, pieces falling into place. When you single-handedly turned the tide at Proxima Centauri. Hardly single-handedly, Chen corrected modestly. I had a crew of 300, though I admit the boarding action on their flagship was a solo operation. Their bridge was surprisingly spacious afterward. Dr. Yilan made a strangled sound that might have been her species' equivalent of nervous laughter. And you're here for... Oh, just to discuss Earth's potential membership in the Galactic Council, Admiral Chen said pleasantly. We thought it might be nice to make it official, given how much we've been helping with your little pest problems. She gestured to the holographic displays showing various conflict zones across the galaxy. We've noticed several ongoing disputes that could benefit from human perspective. The chamber remained frozen in shocked silence until Ambassador Krell managed a weak nod. I think we should vote on Earth's membership immediately. Admiral Chen's smile became genuinely warm. Excellent. I'll let the President know. She'll be so pleased. As she turned to leave, Vextar couldn't help but ask, Admiral, those numbers of yours, are they considered impressive by human standards? Chen paused at the doorway and looked back. Well, she said thoughtfully, I did make it into the top 100 of my graduating class. The door closed behind her, leaving the Galactic Council's representatives to contemplate the terrifying implications of what humanity's idea of average might actually mean. In the silence that followed, General Thax summed up everyone's thoughts. Perfectly. I vote we make them full members immediately and never ever get on their bad side. The motion passed unanimously,